Hello, YouTube, and we are back for another day of reacting. Let's go ahead and go straight over to this and check out what YouTube has to offer. Okay, something moving in the dark. Is it Ghost Rider versus the Crow? That'd be interesting, but the Ghost Rider will win. Hmm. That'd be interesting to watch. Check that out too. I believe the proper biblical version of an angel is like kind of like a gyroscope looking thing with the wings. Yeah, right there. Billie Jean's not my lover. Why does that little boy look like Gargura? I don't mind checking that one out later. I'm not going to open in a new window or anything. What the hell? Once upon a December. Let's go ahead and just do our karaoke search. That one's good. Let me open a new window. Well, not a new window, a new page. New tab. Okay, it's just called Black Balloon. Okay. One more. Okay, you need to go to the end of the list. Let's check out some Big Daddy Leo.
I make roughly $800,000 a year from my company.
Okay.
Nice. Nice. Okay, so hopefully he doesn't see this video. But I got a question for the chat, right? How do I take his company and make it mine? Not to be mean. It's just so that his money could be my money.
Marry him and then take half of it after the divorce.
Right? No, because I hear about these hostile takeovers all the time. But like, how do you do it? Because somebody Google how do you do it? How do you do it? Like, do I sneak in his office and just yoke him up? Just be like, it's mine now, the whole company. Or like, it's like papers. Is it like a lot of papers involved, like legal and reading? Because like, I don't like that option. Sounds boring.
You marry him and you take half of it in the divorce.
But like jail too, it's like cause somebody Google that. What are the options?
I make roughly.
Okay. The hell is this?
Yeah, I'd be stressed out too. Yeah. God damn. Jesus. Oh my God.
What the hell's wrong with that kid's head?
Kids are dumb? Yeah, I know.
What the?
Oh my God. Okay, great.
Yeah, that was weird. Weird. I wish I could draw like that. Ooh, this guy. Which flag is this?
I've got brand new hypersonic missiles. I took another country's dictator. What? Yeah, I picked them up last night. You can't do that. You can't just do that.
Oh, North
You're not supposed to have
Korea.
hypersonic missiles. That's not the same as capturing somebody. You're not supposed to be developing a nuclear program. Okay, all right, United States, I get what you're saying, but you're also supposed to feed your people. I get the point. I get what you're saying, okay, but you can't just roll up on people and take their leaders.
Yes,
Well,
we
we
can.
did. There will be retaliation for this. We destroyed all their air defense in less time than it takes me to get Venezuelan food delivered to my house. Well, we're gonna back Venezuela. Me, China, Russia, all of us. I might start collecting dictators like Pokemon. Lockdown Kim Jong. Gotta catch them all. I've got brand new hypersonic missiles.
I like that. I really like that. Numi!
And afterwards, I was talking to him, and I said, yeah, like one of my biggest problems is that I get really insecure because of my body type, because if I go to the store, I can't find something that actually fits me. And then he said, I completely understand,
Welcome to
because
my
my wife,
world.
she has long legs and a short torso. And so what it means is that if she was trying to wear my sweatpants or something, it doesn't fit her the same way it would fit me because of our different proportions. And I said, like, oh, so is my proportion, like my legs are too long or something? He's like, oh no, you have perfect proportions. And I was like, oh, shit, wait, really? And he said, no, yeah, like you have really, like it's like even. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, what the fuck? And then after I said, so you were just doing the measurements on me, what would you say like my body type is? Because he said one of the reasons why outfits don't fit on you the right way is because they're basically trying to make outfits for the general audience, right? The general public. When in reality, there are 28 different body types on women. And I didn't know that, man. I had no fucking idea. I had no idea. And they usually fit it to one specific body type when they're making clothes, unless you're going to specific tailors or places like that. And that's why things don't fit me as well. And I was like, oh shit. And I said, yeah, because I'm like, I know I'm a little like curvier, but I'm like kind of small, so I get why it'd be difficult, but like, what do you think my body type is? Bro says, yeah, you would be too petite, curvy. I said, too petite, curvy. And he said, yeah, it doesn't exist. And so I'm just like, what? Too petite, curvy, and it doesn't exist? And he says, yeah, that's why oftentimes if somebody's like with your body type that comes in, you have to get it like done because body types like this are more specific. And so I said, do I take this as a compliment? At first in my head, I said, oh my God, skinny. But then I was like, okay, so I'm like doomed if I want to try specific shit. And this is also why specific things don't fit me and some specific things do. And he said, yeah. I'm like, right. Body out of this realm of existence. I think it's a compliment, but I don't know. I've never like, I don't know what to do with this information. And afterwards, I was talking to him and I said, yeah, you know, like one of my biggest problems is that I get really insecure because of my body type, because if I go
to... I have a lot of trouble when I go shopping too. I'm not the biggest person, but I am a big person and big in just about every way. How to put this? I'm right on the threshold where it's hard to get stuff. I think my shirts are like a 3X or 4X or something. My pants used to be a 4X. They're 3Xs right now. The thing is, I'm also like 6'2", which isn't overly tall, but the thing is, I'm not just tall, I'm also wide. I'm bulky. Well, oops. To give you an idea, average 20-ounce bottle was 16.9 ounce. Average bottle of soda. Well, this is green tea, but it used to be soda. Just give you an idea of the size of my hands. My head is pretty evident its sizes. My feet are, I can get the proper size shoes because my feet are 13s, but this is where it becomes a pain in the ass. It's 13 wides. I go to a lot of places and just like, do you have 13s? Yeah. Do you have 13 wides? No. So yeah, that sucks. So I'm not overly big. I am big. I'm not overly big, but I'm big in just about every way. So that's why it's such a pain. My build, as you can tell, this is a big and tall chair. I'm fucking feeling it out. My arm span going left to right, I think it was like between like 6 feet and 6 feet 2 inches. It pretty much matches my height. So, yeah, pain in the ass.
Okay, this is just kind of mean. I get it. I get why some people might be upset, but I'm gonna keep making content that makes me happy, and I know that makes other people happy, and it's a lot of fun. I have been in this subculture for a very, very long time, since I was in middle school, you know, grew up super religious, sharpening my nails, wear my trip pants to math class, and people would bully me for making too many noises from the chains. I'm so down to do more trad goth like content too. I have put out some and it didn't do as well, but I'm so down to keep trying. I just wish I wish the internet was a little kinder, but that just will never happen.
Yeah,
It
it
does
will
suck
never
to
happen.
see people pitting other people against each other. I love our goth IHOP stuff, and I also love all the trad goth stuff that came after that video. Like, we all got picked on. Alright, we were all the weirdos. But now, like, we get to just be ourselves, and people like it. Like, enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, as long as you can be anonymous online, the internet's gonna remain a cesspool, a toxic cesspool. As long as basically as long as you can hide behind your keyboard. I've gotten people saying a lot of shit to me, especially on X, that, believe me, they would not say in person. Just the term keyboard warrior. Hi guys, I have an edict that's 13 feet long. Much better than your ass. Basically, they can write checks they never have to cash. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. It allows you to be more open, but it also removes an important filter that stops bullshit from spreading. So you have to take the cons with the you have to take the pros with the cons.
What's the best way to destroy the sun?
Okay, cute idea.
Could a fire department spray water all over it and put it out?
No.
It's not a campfire, it's a gravity-confined nuclear fusion reactor. The equivalent of feeding dough to an oven and hoping the oven stops baking.
Well, kind of. The problem is the sun is not a fire, it's not burning. The sun shines not because of combustion.
To destroy the sun, you'd either have to give it a pressure outlet, or you'd have to break the balance. The sun is balanced on explosion and implosion. You either have to do a pressure output, so the stuff can escape and then it will implode completely, or you have to just basically you cause it to implode by either doing a pressure outlet, which will break the balance, or you increase the gravity of it by adding some sort of other substance. Drop a small black hole into the sun. It will destroy the entire solar system before it gets close, but yeah, do it that way. That will destroy the sun.
But because, well, it's so big. The gravitational force caused by its mass is powerful enough to fuse atoms together in the core. This causes them to release energy, sunlight. Water to the sun would only make it more massive, increase.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Add mass, raise core pressure and temperature. Fusion's gonna speed up. More fuel, faster burn.
Gravitational pressure that causes fusion. So instead of fizzling out, it would burn brighter. But the brighter it burns, the faster it runs out of.
Okay, so he's gonna say maybe because you're ultimately shorting the sun's overall lifespan. Clever.
As I pointed out 12 years ago, 20 solar masses of water added to the sun would shrink its expected
20 solar masses of water. So
Holy
remodeling
crap.
multiple solar systems to affect just one is what it would take to pull this off. Okay.
Yeah.
lifetime from 5 billion years to only a few 100 million. But if you can't wait that long, I suggest something more sinister than water. Water! If you sprayed the sun so powerfully that its matter was scattered across space, it would no
Okay, he's getting into gravitational binding energy.
longer have the critical density needed for fusion to occur. It would be snuffed out, but only so long.
So to do that, you would need to unbind the sun, and that takes 10 to the 41 power joules. Nukes are not that powerful. It's needing the planet's annual energy output times a very, very large number. Impossible for all practical purposes.
Like Alex Mack or the T-1000, a scattered sun can reconstitute itself slowly over time under its own gravity.
Sure,
it
gravity,
can
yep.
recollapse. The only way to make sure that doesn't happen is to spread its guts widely enough. beyond what's known as the gene's length. The gene is a critical radius at which a cloud of gas and dust's thermal energy, the motion of its molecules which causes it to expand.
I mean, sure, if you disperse material that thermal motion defeats gravity, it won't recollapse. But for the sun, your escape velocity is 600 kilometers per second, which at that mass, again, 10 to the 41 power joules.
No longer counteract the effects of gravity bringing it together, and it collapses. Our sun's gene's length is astronomical. Literally, it's at least 10,000 astronomical units.
I was gonna say, yeah, you'd be into deep interstellar space at this point.
That's 250 times wider than our solar system.
So destroying the sun isn't a physics problem we're about to solve. It's a plumbing invoice from space with an astronomical budget.
It's the best way to destroy the sun. Could
Okay, cute idea.
a fire department spray water all over it and put...
Okay. Yeah, destroying the sun's not going to happen.
Shuan Hen and Smugglana did a collab video. Oh my god, it's Reddit personified. Look. Ah, I hate those politically incorrect females. I should do something about them. Whoa, 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 Reddit, chill. Sir? Mess with my Oshi and I'll draw you pregnant. The power of drawing, dude. Oh my god. Shuan Hen and Smugglana did a collab.
No, that was pretty short. So threatening to draw pictures of somebody pregnant. Weird.
The comedic levels of ignorance. Female rage is realizing when Jesus or other men performed magic tricks, they were miracles, but when women did magic tricks, they were burned at the stake. This is why we call them foids. And I think it's very, very justified. Guess they forgot what happened at Easter to Jesus? Nobody knows. Yeah, I mean, again, like, I don't know how any of this stuff gets popular at all. It's, like, just so crazy, stupid, delusional. The comedic levels of ignorance. Female rage is realizing when Jesus or other men performed magic tricks, they were miracles, but when women did magic tricks, they were burned at the stake.
Fucking stupid. He was put on trial and fucking nailed to a fucking cross. I'm not a fucking believer, but still fucking dumb. I didn't know I clicked on this one. Weird. Let's do this one instead. Times have changed and times are strange. Here I come, but I ain't the same. Mama, I'm coming home. Time's gone by, seems to be. You could have been a better friend to me. Mama, I'm coming home. You took me in and you drove me out, yeah. You had me hypnotized, yeah. Lost and found and turned around by the fire in your eyes. You made me cry, you told me lies, but I can't stand to say goodbye. Mama, I'm coming home. I could be right, I could be wrong. It hurts so bad, it's been so long. Mama, I'm coming home. Selfish love, yeah, we're both alone. The ride before the fall, yeah. But I'm gonna take this heart of stone. I just got to have it all. I've seen your face 100 times. Every day we've been apart. I don't care about the sunshine, yeah. 'Cause mama, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. You took me in and you drove me out, yeah. You had me hypnotized, yeah. Lost and found and turned around by the fire in your eyes. I've seen your face 1,000 times. Every day we've been apart. And I don't care about the sunshine, yeah. 'Cause mama, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I really need to remember to re-click on the windows. Baby black balloon makes her fly. I almost fell into that hole in your life. And you're not thinking about tomorrow, 'cause you were the same as me, but on your knees. 8,000 other boys could never reach you. How could I have been the one? I saw the world spin beneath you and scatter like ice from the spoon. That was your womb. But coming down, the world turned over, and angels fall without you there. And I go on as you get colder, or are you someone's prayer? You know the lies they always told you, and the love you never knew. What's the things they never never showed you. I swallow the light from the sun inside your room, yeah. Coming down, the world turned over, and angels fall without you there. And I go on as the world, as you get colder, or are we someone's prayer? And there's no time left for losing. When you stand, they fall, yeah. Coming down, the world turned over, and the angels fall without you there. And I go on as you get colder, all because I'm coming down. The years turn over, and angels fall without you there. And I'll go on now to leave you home, man. All because and I'll become what you became to me. I fucked up quite a bit. If I leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me? For I must be traveling on now, 'cause there's too many places I've got to see. But if I stay here with you, girl, things just couldn't be the same. 'Cause I'm as free as a bird now, and this bird you cannot change. Oh, and the bird you cannot change. And this bird you cannot change. Lord knows I can't change. Won't you fly high, free bird, yeah. Okay, let's see if we can find another one. Let's try, you know what, let's go ahead and do 2. An old cowboy went riding out one dark and weary day. Upon a ridge he rested as he went along his way. When all at once a mighty herd of red-eyed cows he saw, a-plowing through the ragged skies and up the cloudy draw. Their brands were still on fire and their hooves were made of steel. Their horns were black and shiny and their hot breaths he could feel. A bolt of fear went through him as they thundered through the sky. For he saw the riders coming hard and he heard their mournful cries. Yippee-yi-yo! Ghost riders in the sky. Their faces gaunt, their eyes were blurred, their shirts were all soaked in sweat. He's riding hard to catch that herd, but he ain't caught them yet. 'Cause they got to ride forever on that range up in the sky, on horses snorting fire. If you want to save your soul from hell or riding on a rage, then cowboy, change your ways today, or with us you will ride, trying to catch the devil's herd across these endless skies. Yippee-yi-yo, yippee-yi-yeah. Ghost riders in the sky. Ghost riders in the sky. Ghost riders in the sky. Classic, good song, really good song. Put your head on my shoulder. We'll do that one too. Last time I tried this one, I fucked it up so much. Okay, let's go on to this one. I walked the line. Wonder if I can find Burning Ring of Fire in this list. We'll do it after the song. First, my lips are dry as fuck, so... Wow, that was loud. Let's move all these back over a bit. No, don't be blown over by the air from my fan. Be a good little boy. You know, guys, I didn't think it was possible to use it up so fast. There's only that much left. Here, let me go full screen. There's only that much left. So we'll get to start on our next one soon. It's only taken about half a year to use it. Okay, I Walked the Line by Johnny Cash. Okay. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I find it very, very easy to be true. I find myself alone when each day is through. Yes, I'll admit that I'm a fool for you. line. As sure as night is dark and the day is light, I keep you on my mind both day and night. And happiness I've known proves that it's right. Because you're mine, I walk the line. You've got a way to keep me on your side. You give me cause for love that I can't hide. For you I know I'd even try to turn the tide. 'Cause you're mine, I walk the line. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ins out for those hide I find. 'Cause you're mine, I walk the line. Now that's already over. You know what? We got to. If only for our love of Gargura, our Saba. They're singing, of course. You know what? We'll try that one. Okay. Oh, I got this twice. Okay. Put your head on my shoulder. Hold me in your arms, baby. Squeeze me oh so tight. Show me that you love me too. Put your lips next to mine, dear. Won't you kiss me once, baby? Just a kiss goodnight, maybe. You and I will fall in love. People say that love's a game you just can't win. If there's a way, I'll find it someday, and when this fool will rush in, put your head on my shoulder, whisper in my ear, baby, words I want to hear. shoulder, whisper in my ear, baby, words I want to hear, baby. Put your head on my shoulder. I don't think I fucked up any of the words. Yeah, I think that might be a first. Okay, oh, these I took from the last one, so it'll be in the same list. No, those weren't in the last one. Who's me and Bobby McGee? I think I know this one. Ooh, the one we were looking for before, Ring of Fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down in the flames, it went higher. Ooh, that's a long list. Okay. Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fire ring. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. The taste of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. I fell for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire. Okay. Now let's see if this is what I think it is. I've been walking these streets alone, singing the same old song. I know every crack in these dirty sidewalks of Broadway, where hustle's the name of the game, and nice guys get washed away like the snow in the rain. There's been a load of compromising on the road to my horizon, but I'm gonna be where the lights are shining on me, like a rhinestone cowboy riding out on a horse in a star-spangled rodeo, like a rhinestone cowboy getting cards and letters from people I don't even know, and offers coming over the phone. Well, I really don't mind the rain, and a smile can hide all the pain, but you're down when you're riding the train that's taking the long way. And I dream of the things I'll do with a subway token and $1 tucked inside my shoe. There's been a load of compromising on the road to my horizon, but I'm gonna be where the lights are shining on me, like a rhinestone cowboy riding out on a horse in a star-spangled rodeo. Rhinestone cowboy getting cards and letters from people I don't even know, and offers coming over the phone, like a rhinestone cowboy riding out on a horse in a star-spangled rodeo, like a rhinestone cowboy getting cards and letters from people I don't even know. I've been alone with you inside my mind, and in my dreams I've kissed your lips 1,000 times. I sometimes see you pass outside my door. Hello, is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes, I can see it in your smile. You're all that I ever wanted, and my arms are open wide, 'cause you know just what to say, and you know just what to do, and I want to tell you so much. I love you. a clue. But let me start by saying I love you. Hello, is it me you're looking for? 'Cause I wonder where you are, and I wonder what you do. Are you somewhere feeling lonely, or is someone loving you? Tell me how to win your heart, for I haven't got a clue. But let me start by saying I love you. Okay, okay. Now let's finish it off with a acceptable song for finishing off the karaoke. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather around her. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, I hear her voice in the morning hours, she calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. And driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain, mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country roads. Okie dokie. We are going to move on to these. Okay, let's see. Thanos versus Pinhead. Who would win? Legendary fights!
You have traveled
My money's
across
on
galaxies to find a door, Titan. But do you have the courage to see what lies on the other side? We have such exquisite sights to show you.
I have seen the birth of stars and the heat death of universes. I have courted death herself. What could a priest of a backwater dimension possibly show me that I haven't already conquered?
Thanos did nothing wrong.
Experience. Beyond the flesh. Beyond the mind. We will tear your soul apart. And you will find that even a god can be taught the meaning of a scream.
Many have threatened me with pain. All of them are now dust. You are simply another pebble in my path.
On one side stands Thanos. The Mad Titan is a mutated Eternal of Titan, a cosmic warlord whose name is synonymous with universal genocide. Possessing strength that rivals the Hulk, durability that can withstand planetary collisions, and a genius-level intellect that spans every science known to the cosmos. Thanos is a tier, one threat. Whether he carries the Infinity Gauntlet or relies on his raw cosmic energy, he is a being who seeks to impose his will upon the very fabric of existence. Opposing him is Pinhead, the High Priest of the Cenobites, the voice of the Labyrinth. He is a metaphysical entity that governs the intersection of pleasure and pain, with the power to command hook chains and warp the geometry of reality. Pinhead does not seek to rule the universe. He seeks to harvest the souls within it. He is a master of ritual, a being who believes that every soul, no matter how powerful, has a breaking point. This is a clash between cosmic will and infernal ritual. It is a battle to see if the Mad Titan's resolve can be shattered by the architect of the Labyrinth. Welcome to the Eternal Hell Loop. Subscribe now to witness the downfall of gods and the rise of monsters. Thanos is a physical and mental juggernaut, a man who has mastered the art of war on a galactic scale. Titanian physiology. His skin is virtually impenetrable, and his strength is sufficient to shatter moons with his bare hands. Cosmic energy manipulation. Thanos can project blasts of pure energy from his hands and eyes, capable of staggering celestial beings. Genius intellect.
Nice.
He is a master tactician and a sorcerer in his own right, possessing mental shields that protect him from the most powerful telepaths in the universe. Unyielding will. Thanos is driven by a singular, obsessive purpose. His mind is a fortress of cold logic and absolute conviction. Pinhead, the High Priest of Agony. Pinhead is the manifestation of the Labyrinth's order, a being who thrives on the topography of the soul. Command of the hooks. Pinhead can manifest chains that bypass physical armor to hook directly into the spiritual essence of his victim. Dimensional warping. He can pull opponents into his own realm, where he controls gravity, space, and time. Sensation overload. His magic is designed to turn the victim's own nervous system against them, converting every thought into a wave of unbearable sensation. The battle begins as Pinhead gestures toward the Titan. From the shadows of the cathedral's vaulted ceiling, hundreds of hooked chains lash out. Thanos doesn't move. The hooks strike his purple skin and bounce off with the sound of metal hitting titanium. Thanos reaches out, catching a dozen chains in one hand. With a single, casual jerk, he rips the chains and the stone pillars they were anchored to out of the ground. Thanos, your toys are brittle, priest. Try harder. Pinhead tilts his head, unfazed. He activates the lament configuration. The cathedral walls begin to unfold like a paper flower, revealing the endless, shifting gray stone of the labyrinth. Thanos finds himself suspended in a void where up and down have no meaning. Huge, metaphysical hooks erupt from the sky, this time imbued with the power of Leviathan. They snag Thanos' armor, actually managing to pierce the golden plates. Pinhead teleports closer, his face inches from the Titans. Every god has a secret fear. Thanos, let's find yours. Pinhead attempts to invade Thanos' mind. He shows him a universe where he failed, where the snap never happened, or where Mistress Death turns her back on him forever. He attempts to use Thanos' burden as a hook to drag him into madness. Thanos closes his eyes. He doesn't struggle. He uses his vast knowledge of the mystic arts to anchor his consciousness. He doesn't feel the pain of the hooks. He analyzes them. Thanos, you speak of sights and experiences. I have lived through the collapse of the multiverse. Your hell is a mere closet compared to the void I have walked. Thanos unleashes his cosmic energy. He doesn't blast Pinhead, he blasts the labyrinth itself. He channels the raw power of his Titan soul into a 360-degree nova. The white-hot energy incinerates the chains and begins to melt the gray stone of Pinhead's dimension. The labyrinth screams. The order of Leviathan is being overwritten by the will of Thanos. Thanos, you wanted to explore my soul? You will find only a vacuum, and a vacuum consumes everything. Thanos channels a massive surge of cosmic energy directly into Pinhead's brain. Simultaneously, he uses his knowledge of technology to force-solve the lament configuration in reverse, using his strength to crush the box into a singularity of wood and gold. Thanos teleports through the chaos, appearing directly in front of Pinhead. He grabs the Hell Priest by the head, his massive fingers digging into the pale skin. With the box destroyed and the labyrinth shattered by cosmic fire, Pinhead's physical form loses its anchor. Thanos slams the priest under the collapsing stone, watching as the entity is torn apart by the very dimensional rift it created. As the cosmic energy subsides, the ruins of the cathedral return to the moon's surface. Pinhead's fate, the Hell Priest, is annihilated. His physical vessel is destroyed, and his essence is scattered into the deep vacuum of the negative zone. Because the lament configuration was crushed by a being of Thanos' power, the gateway to that specific labyrinth is closed for eternity. Thanos' fate, the Mad Titan, stands amidst the ruins, his armor slightly scarred but his resolve unshaken. He brushes a speck of ash from his shoulder and looks up at the stars, scale of existence. Pinhead is a powerful dimensional being, but Thanos is a universal level threat. Pinhead operates on the scale of souls and rooms. Thanos operates on the scale of planets and galaxies. The raw energy output of a Titan is simply too much for the labyrinth to contain. The Fortress of the Mind. Pinhead wins by breaking the will of his victims. Thanos possesses one of the most disciplined and powerful minds in the Marvel Universe. He has resisted the influence of the Mind Stone and the whispers of gods. Pinhead's psychological hooks could find no purchase. Intellectual dominance. Thanos is not just a brute. He is a master of the mystic arts and cosmic engineering. He didn't just fight the chains. He analyzed the logic of the puzzle box and used his own power to short-circuit its magic. The silence of the moon returns.
Sounds like
Pinhead
Legend of the
offered
Legendary
Thanos
Heroes.
an eternity of sensation, but Thanos chose the silence of victory. The labyrinth
Analyze
tried to claim a
existence
god,
and
and in
erase.
return, the god burned the labyrinth to the ground. In the eternal hell loop, there are those who serve hell, and there are those who are simply too big for hell to hold. Winner, Thanos. Because the Mad Titan does not experience pain, he defines it for others.
I kind of saw that coming because, quite frankly, Thanos is just a higher level than Pinhead is. I think Thanos might even be a higher level than the Leviathan, is he not? The Leviathan was one of Loki's children, wasn't he? Let's move on. Why can't we go up? What's directly above and below the sun?
Spacecraft have reached every planet in the solar system.
Okay.
Rovers are driving across Mars right now. A probe was dropped through the clouds of Saturn, and Pluto was photographed from less than 8,000 miles away.
Nice.
Crossing billions of miles of empty space has started to feel almost routine.
Yep.
But there is one direction we have barely touched. One place that should be the easiest
Up
to
and
reach
down.
and turns out to be one of the hardest.
We're going through the solar system in a 2D mindset. Instead of, we're not in a 3D, so basically we can go left, right, forward or back, but we can't go up and down.
Straight up. Out of the flat plane the planets all share, directly above or below the sun.
By the way, the planets are not directly on a flat plane.
The vertical exit from our solar system. It sounds simple. Just point the rocket up and go. The problem is that physics will not let you. What follows is why escaping vertically is harder than going to Pluto. You will see what waits up there if a spacecraft ever makes the trip, and you will see the strange maneuver scientists are now considering. A maneuver where a probe has to first fall toward the sun before it can ever climb away from it. To understand why vertical escape is hard, you have to understand what speed you already have without doing anything. The Earth is moving, right now, around the sun at roughly 30 kilometers per second, or about 67,000 miles per hour. That is not a typo. Every second, the planet you are standing on travels 30 kilometers sideways around the sun.
And the sun is
Every
also
rocket
moving.
we launch from Earth inherits that motion. When SpaceX or NASA puts a probe in space, the probe is not starting from rest. It is already moving sideways at 30 kilometers per second, the same as the rest of us. This is normally a gift. If we want to reach Mars, the existing sideways motion does most of the work. We just have to adjust slightly. A few kilometers per second of extra velocity in the right direction, and we are on a trajectory to another planet.
Yep.
But what happens when you want to go up? Not towards Mars or Jupiter or anywhere else in the plane. Straight up, perpendicular to everything else. Now, that sideways motion becomes your enemy. To go straight up, you first have to cancel out the 30 kilometers per second you already have. Then you have to add new velocity to climb. The total energy required is staggering. Mission planners measure this in something called delta V, the change in velocity a spacecraft has to produce on its own. Going to Mars from Earth orbit needs about 4 kilometers per second of delta V. Going straight up out of the ecliptic plane needs roughly 30 kilometers per second, almost 10 times as much. That is the prison. Earth's orbital motion gives us free speed in one direction and effectively walls us in. We can go around the sun easily. We can hop to other planets in the same plane easily. But the moment we try to leave the plane itself, we have to fight 4.6 billion years of orbital momentum all at once. It is one of the most counterintuitive facts in astrodynamics. Reaching Pluto, 3.5 billion miles away, requires less energy than reaching a point just a few million miles directly above the sun's north pole. Because the vertical exit is so expensive, almost no spacecraft has ever made the trip, which means almost everything that happens directly above or below the sun is still, in 2026, a frontier. We have detailed maps of Mars and high-resolution photographs of Pluto. We can show you close-up imagery of comets, asteroids, the rings of Saturn, and the moons of Jupiter. But the poles of our own sun, the closest star to Earth, have barely been seen. There is a reason this matters more than it sounds. The polar regions of the sun are where the most violent and most important solar activity actually happens. The fastest solar winds come from there. The magnetic field of the sun reverses itself every 11 years through processes that begin at the poles. The entire space weather environment of our solar system is shaped by what happens above and below the equator of our star.
Plasma's controlled can be controlled completely by magnetic fields. It will plasma will literally flow along the magnetic field. And since the sun is just a giant ball of plasma. Its magnetic field is pretty much what drives all of its weather, all of its storms.
And we have been observing it almost entirely from the side, like trying to understand the weather of an entire planet by only ever standing at the equator. There have only been 2 missions that ever managed a real polar view of the sun. The first was Ulysses, launched in 1990 by a joint NASA and ESA partnership. To get out of the ecliptic plane, Ulysses had to take a wild detour. The spacecraft first traveled outward to Jupiter, then used the gas giant's gravity as a slingshot to bend its trajectory nearly 80 degrees out of the planetary plane.
Okay.
From there, it fell back inward toward the sun on a tilted orbit. The mission worked. Ulysses gave us our first direct measurements of the fast solar winds streaming for the polar coronal holes. But the spacecraft was built with 1980s instruments. It had no cameras capable of imaging the poles. We learned about the conditions there, but never actually saw them. The second mission is happening right now. Solar Orbiter, a European Space Agency probe launched in 2020, has been gradually tilting its orbit using gravity assist from Venus. In March 2025, Solar Orbiter sent back the first direct images of the sun's south pole ever taken in human history. The pictures show a chaotic, magnetically tangled region, nothing like the smoother solar surface we see from Earth.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Wow.
Until last year, no human or robot has ever seen what the top or bottom of our sun looks like. Not really, not from above. The closest and brightest object in our local universe, and arguably the most important, still has 2 regions we have only just begun to photograph. There is a second reason vertical escape matters. We do not actually know what our own solar system looks like from outside. Around the sun, there is a vast bubble called the heliosphere. It is the region of space where the solar wind dominates, pushing back against the interstellar medium beyond it. Inside this bubble live the planets and the comets and every human spacecraft we have ever launched. Outside, the deep galactic environment full of cosmic rays and interstellar particles that our bubble shields us from. For decades, we assumed the heliosphere was shaped like a comet, a rounded front where it pushes against the interstellar wind in the direction of our galactic motion, and a long tail trailing behind. This was the standard textbook image. It was a good guess given the data we had. In 2020, a team led by Mirav Ofer at Boston University, using a new model based on NASA data, came to a different conclusion. The heliosphere is probably not comet-shaped at all. The new prediction looks closer to a deflated croissant, a curved central bulge with 2 short jets curling away from it, and notably no long tail. The reason we cannot tell for certain is that we have never seen our bubble from outside, and we've never sent a probe high above the ecliptic plane far enough to take its measurements from a useful angle. The Voyager spacecraft crossed the heliopause sideways, almost in the plane of the planets. Useful, but not limited. To actually understand the shape of our home in the galaxy, we would need a probe traveling well out of the ecliptic, looking down at the structure from above.
That would not.
There is a NASA mission called IMAP, the Interstellar Mapping and Acceleration Probe, designed to refine our understanding from the inside. But for a direct view of the bubble's true shape, the only way is to escape vertically and look back at it. A vantage no spacecraft has ever reached for a structure we live inside without knowing its real form. How do you actually solve the vertical escape problem? You cannot just build a bigger rocket. The energy required to cancel Earth's orbital motion is too large for any reasonable fuel load. There is a counterintuitive solution that has been discussed in mission design circles for years, and it is starting to move from theory toward concrete proposals. It is called the solar Oberth maneuver. The idea works backwards from how rockets normally fly. Instead of pointing your engines upward and trying to climb, you do the opposite. You drop your spacecraft toward the sun, you let it fall inward, accelerating under solar gravity until at its closest approach, it is moving at hundreds of kilometers per second, possibly more than 100 kilometers per second at perihelion. Then, at exactly that moment, you fire your engines. Why? Because of a principle Hermann Oberth wrote down in 1929. A rocket burn is dramatically more efficient when performed at high velocity in a deep gravitational well. The same amount of fuel gives you a much larger increase in orbital energy at perihelion than it would in empty space.
That's because you're traveling faster.
By burning at the closest possible approach to the sun, you get a slingshot effect without the slingshot. The fuel you carried up from Earth turns into far more kinetic energy than it would have anywhere else. After the burn, your spacecraft is moving so fast in such a useful direction that you can finally climb out of the plane and head straight up toward the solar poles, or directly out of the solar system. The dive becomes the launch pad. Solar sails are also part of the conversation. Mission concept like the proposed solar polar imager and the more recent high inclination solar mission rely on enormous reflective sheets that use the pressure of sunlight itself to slowly tilt the spacecraft's orbit. No fuel, just photons pushing on a thin metallic film thousands of square meters across.
So we're going back to sailing.
Sails can take years to spiral up to a polar orbit, but they need no propellant. And the longer they push, the higher the inclination they can reach. Combine the two, a spacecraft that uses a solar sail to spiral closer and closer to the sun, then performs an O-berth maneuver at perihelion to direct itself vertically, then continues riding the sail out into the polar regions. This is the kind of mission architecture that astrodynamicists now think could finally give us a clean view of what lies directly above and below our star.
Okay.
If we ever pull this off, what does a spacecraft actually see from directly above the sun? First, the view changes physically. The ecliptic plane is dirty. Earth, like every planet, swims through a thin haze of dust left over from billions of years of comets, asteroid collisions, and the slow grinding of the solar system. You can actually see this dust with your own eyes. On a very dark night, just after sunset or before sunrise, a faint pyramid of light called the zodiacal light reaches up from the horizon. That glow is sunlight reflecting off the dust in our local plane. It is the inside of our solar system lit up.
Oh, wow.
A spacecraft that climbs above the ecliptic would rise out of this dust within months. The view there is dramatically cleaner. Less scattered light, less background haze. The kind of place where a telescope could detect faint signals that from inside the disk are drowned out by the dust around us. It would be one of the best possible vantage points for an instrument looking for signs of life around other stars. From the same vantage, a different instrument could measure the cosmic microwave background or study the structure of the galactic plane from outside it. Second, the solar environment changes. Above the equator of the sun, the slow solar wind, around 400 kilometers per second of turbulent plasma, gives way to something steadier. Above the polar coronal holes, there is a stream of fast solar wind, between 700 and 800 kilometers per second of particles flowing outward in a thinner, smoother current. A spacecraft riding through this stream would experience a fundamentally different radiation environment, with implications for both the lifespan of its electronics and the science it could perform. And third, the bigger picture. From a vantage well above the ecliptic, the solar system itself would be visible as the disk it actually is. You would see the planets in their flat ring around the sun, with the dust hugging the plane and the heliosphere wrapped around all of it, in whatever real shape it happens to have. We would be able to look down at our own neighborhood for the first time, the same way we look down at Earth from orbit. We've never seen this view. Not a single human or robot has ever sent back the photograph. Of all the images we have managed to take of the cosmos, the one looking down at our own solar system from outside its plane is still missing. And you, if you had to design the first mission to climb directly above the sun, would you bet on a solar sail, the slow patient way, or an O-berth dive, the violent and dramatic way?
Why not
Tell us in the
both?
comments. And if you want to know what is actually waiting up there in those unexplored regions directly above and below the disk of our planets, watch what exists above and below our solar system next. This video explained the journey. That one shows you the destination.
Neat. Unfortunately, I screwed up. I forgot to change it off to karaoke screen, so the last video is gonna have to be put up with the karaoke overlay. Okay, let me check. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call it here for today, guys, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. I'm gonna start doing a wider variety of reacting, and I need to start remembering to do the proper overlays and stuff. So I will see you all tomorrow. It was actually pretty fun watching videos tonight. Later, guys.